I'll see you fuckers on Wednesday.
What's up, guys? Don't know what the fingers were. What's up, guys? It's Marcel J back at it again with a new video. This is a moment for Marcel. If you don't know what that is, I just spend 10 minutes talking about whatever topic that comes to my mind, whatever's happening in the world. Something that I think needs to have a moment with me, you, and the internet. Today, I have to talk about Call Her Daddy. I'm a huge fan. I'm assuming if you found this video, you either know me, hey people who know me, or you're, like, more importantly, a big fan of Call Her Daddy. You're a big fan of Alexandra Cooper and Sophia Franklyn. But I love the show. I found it, like, when it started a couple years back, and since the show starting, it blowing up, and it becoming what it is today, kind of like, I honestly would say cultural. Do I want to give it that? Do I want to say it's a cultural phenomenon? I don't know if I want to give it that, but it's basically is a big show. It can be even bigger, and I feel like both girls, or both women, Alex and Sophia, had very big plans on making it more successful and bringing it to a wider audience, whether that be adding a TV show to a mix, adding live shows. Just there's so many things that could happen with Call Her Daddy. But if you've been following the drama, I won't, first off, 10 minutes. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock so I don't speak too much. Okay. So I won't explain all the drama. I'm assuming you've watched this because you just saw Alex's response. She finally spoke. It's been a crazy 5 weeks not having the daddies give us any shows, but first Dave, founder of Barstool Sports, made an episode explaining the situation, explaining how Peter Nelson, aka Suitman, Sophia's boyfriend, kind of fucked everything up with the crazy deal negotiation that they tried to do. And later on, Sophia explained her side in a very, very, very brief IG story. And then finally, Alex just put everything out there with the full 30-minute story.
Significantly affect her decision making. I had to make a decision for myself and my own career. And that's why I'm sitting here alone right now. I didn't have a boyfriend make my decisions. I didn't have an agency make my decisions. I had to make a decision for myself. I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is I am very aware that this brand, the daddy gang, is bigger than Sophia and me. Much bigger. And I am so fucking excited to get the show back on the air, to continue to talk about sex and blowjobs and talk about shitty one-night stands and the Cooper special and get into it. And I think that it fucking sucks because the excitement I have, I wish Sophia had.
And going from what I've just watched with Alex and Dave, co-signing that everything that Alex said was what happened, and also like what she said to her, what she said to him, and how like now Call Her Daddy is hers. Like, Alex is going to continue doing what she's done, working hard as fuck, building a brand from the ground up. It's interesting. I think the people who are fans of Call Her Daddy are either, like Sophia and Alex, sex positive, very sexually active, and can relate to being in a city or being wherever you live and just having good sex, bad sex, awkward dating moments, just being unapologetic with how you live your life. And their other set of fan base are the people who maybe aren't at that point in their life where they want to be sexually adventurous. So it's fun to like peer in a glass window and see two young, fun people just do their thing, and they're funny. There's so many good things I can say about the podcast. But in this situation, I think what disappoints me most, I think what a lot of Daddy Gang can like agree with me, with me saying, like, with both of those women being so, I don't know if they would consider themselves feminists, but like they're very pro-woman. Like they give you the tips, the fucking rule book on how to not get fucked over by a fuckboy, or to, you know, own your sexuality, own who you are, and just own your power. And for Sophia to like let Suitman, Peter Nelson, HBO guy, just take all of the shit from under her is just mind-blowing. Because don't get me wrong, I feel like Peter did everything, initially at least, with a good heart, with him just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna help my girl earn brownie points, maybe even get a little from the back end if he like weaseled his way into the deal or somehow. Or like, because, you know, with the situation, Peter was helping them find different podcast networks to like pitch the show to. So if he kind of, you know, secured the deal for them, I'm sure he would have got a bonus or some type of offering or monetary gain from all that bullshit. But, you know, for Sophia and Alex to be so like, you know, we know the fuckable rules, we know the game, we know how they're playing it, and Sophia to just really get fucked over at the end, it really sucks. And, you know, Dave did offer her the shot or the opportunity to still have a podcast with Barstool Sports, just not call her daddy, and maybe she will take him up on that. Maybe the fathers will live on with Sophia and she'll prove everyone wrong, because I feel like the internet is like really, like, now that the full story is out there and that we know Call Her Daddy is still gonna go strong with Alex, people are kind of painting Sophia to be the villain, like her and Peter. They're the fucking the hench people trying to take down Call Her Daddy and get as much money as they can. Like, it's ridiculous. In a sense, it's ridiculous on how much they ask. Like, I get like you try to barter high and then you'll get something in the middle, but it's like that initial deal, or that deal that they that Dave offered them on the rooftop, the $500,000 and the fucking ownership, the IP for Call Her Daddy, like that's whatever you want to make it. Like, don't get me wrong, like with the $500,000 each, I know taxes, so like maybe $300,000 or $400,000, however much, but you can invest a portion of that. You can continue to make your money work for you. And if not just that, Call Her Daddy, there's so much future, so much possibilities that can come from that. Like the live shows, money from that, money from merch and alcohol, because you would have got a percentage of that. Like, if you would have continued doing the show and you continued succeeding and growing and just being the #1 podcast, which you have been for a long ass time, sky would have been the limit for both of them. And I'm glad that Alex saw that and she was just like, wait, I'm not going to lose the brand that I helped build, or the brand that's mine, the thing that I've built from the ground up. I'm not going to lose that just so I can, you know, make a little bit money in the beginning. But who knows? Like, who knows if the fathers was going to be as successful as Call Her Daddy, since it loses a lot of the signature things, like fucking fuck, I'm losing the fucking terms.
Editing Marcel coming in real quick. The terms: Glug Glug 3000, Little Bitch Boys, questions of the week, like that, the fun little signatures that Alex and Sophia have created over the years that make Call Her Daddy unique but make it special. It's like the Daddy Gang. Like, that wouldn't have been a thing if they would have quit the Call Her Daddy, like quit the deal, quit Barstool Sports and went on somewhere else to create the Fathers. All of that vernacular would have had to been deleted, not exist in the father world, and new things would have been added. And don't get me wrong, maybe they would have found better or just comparable names and nicknames and all that to make up for it, but you lose a lot when you kind of get rid of the essence. You lose a lot when you get rid of the essence of a show. Back to the video.
You guys know all the terms if you're a fan of the podcast. Who knows what would have happened, or if the podcast, the network that they went with, what if they weren't as laissez-faire as Barstool Sports and they wanted to be more on it? They wanted to hire a different editor and not use Alex. A lot of things could have went wrong if they would have took another deal out of just the sole fact of like, oh, I just want to make more money, or I just want to do a fuck you today for not like listening to us or not doing what we wanted him to do. But to end this, because I only have 3 minutes, I will say this is all a great lesson for creators and also for people. I won't just say for women, I'll say for people who, let me speak. Creating wise, like, you never know what you're doing, whether it be a podcast, whether it be writing a script that you're gonna send to people and try to sell it, or script a pilot, a mixtape, an EP, whatever it is, whatever creative thing you do, you never know how big it can be. So always count on yourself. Whenever you're doing a contract, make sure that it's not forever. Make sure that it's as short as it can be, so you can renegotiate terms, you can renegotiate salary, and you can win if your podcast or whatever you're doing actually does do well. Because for the longest time, that podcast, Call Her Daddy, it blew up within 4 months. So for their initial deal, making like $75,000 each, and then later on the bonuses per episode, it seems like it's a lot of money if it's $100,000, $200,000, however much it was. But like, when your show's making $100,000 per episode and you have like a contract obligation to make a certain amount per year, like, you're getting fucked out of a lot of money. So it's good that their clause within their contract said that it could renegotiate after every year. But that's still, you know, it's not enough. But also, I'm glad that both saw the foresight of saying, like, yo, this podcast is huge right now. And I know they did it the most, like, unprofessional, shady way, but I'm glad that they stood up for themselves and they realized, like, yo, we are worth more. The podcast is doing well because of us. Like, don't get me wrong, you could put any like hot, funny 2 girls there and maybe the magic will work. But at the same time, like, I really do enjoy the podcast. I enjoyed watching the journey, the vlogs in New York, them coming up and saying they were broke as fuck when they were low-key making like thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's kind of funny, low-key. I enjoyed it because it was them, and like, even though that the idea of that podcast right now, that format of 2 women or a group of women just talking about sex and being unapologetic, being raw, being funny and crazy, even though that's popular right now, that doesn't mean every success or every beautiful hot woman's gonna be able to like follow that format and make millions. Like, it takes the it factor, it takes the right timing, it takes the right team, and I think Alex has that. I have 36 seconds left. I really want to try and make this 10 minutes. So, Alex, keep doing your thing. You're going to kill it. I would love if Milf Hunter was the permanent co-host, and if not him, a rotation of co-hosts was going to be dope. But like, you got this. You know what you're going to do, and I'm just so excited to see what happens. I wish Sophia the very, very best. I honestly do, because I think she's funny as fuck. But at the same time, like, I think she's funny as fuck, but this is a life lesson. Do not let anybody fucking mess with your money. I don't care. I don't care if he's HBO executive. Like, that does not mean shit when it comes to someone potentially destroying something that you worked hard for. You know, whether you edit it or not, you put in the hours of recording and of creating scripts and of figuring out how to make the show the best it can be. Like, it's at this point because of Sophia. As much as Alex did a lot, like, Sophia had a very significant impact into it. So I hope that Sophia learns from this very fucking, I'm sure it's like draining, difficult lesson, and she thrives and she leaves Suitman, because Suitman is not it. He is not fucking it at all. But that was my moment. I'm with Marcel. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. New videos every week. And that's all I gotta say. I'm just gonna be waiting for Wednesday to see what happens, as I'm sure all of Daddy Gang will be. So, Daddy Gang Marcel, not Daddy Gang. Daddy Marcel checking out. See you.